classic river epoxy table, geometric style. Score! So there's a few steps for this epoxy geometric style river table. I was inspired by seeing all those really cool river epoxy tables on Facebook ads, so I decided to make one, but geometric style because I thought the river would be a little bit too hard for my skill set at first. So I'll put the first attempt up there. I did that, I don't know, about a year ago. Wasn't too great, but it was a great learning experience. I didn't know how much epoxy I needed, and I just didn't know how everything would work out. Now, second time around, much better. Much better. So there's a few steps that you need to take. First, you need to get all the supplies. So you gotta get your epoxy. If you want cool things in there, for this one I used glowing pebbles. For the other one I used a glowing powder. And you need obviously your wood, your whatever else you want to put in it. For this table I used a piece of glass on the top. I do recommend building a like a case for the table, although we didn't do that this time. I just put tape around the edges. You will run into some trouble doing that, although it is a cheaper and easier way to do it. So let's get to it. This one, it turned out really well. Very happy with it, especially for the second try. And I even made a computer stand, or my monitor stand, as well as this cool little bottle thing that I probably will throw out soon because I don't know, it's not as cool as I intended. But we had some extra epoxy left over, so I quickly whipped up this monitor stand, and then we filled up this glass bottle with some extra epoxy. So let's get to it. Alright, so first off, how the layout is, you got the one cardboard box, another white piece of cardboard, glass, so that'll be the top of the table, and then we got wood. So what we're doing here is we're taping the corners and the sides so that the epoxy doesn't seep out. And so it will be very helpful to use a sort of container to make one of those things, but we said screw it, we're going to skip that step. That's a little bit too hard. We think the tape's going to hold up, and spoiler alert, it does. Some seeps out, but it's not too bad. So, and now we're just arranging what the table is going to look like on the inside. I have a bunch of little pieces of wood, and we tape them all together so then we can move them around. I'm thinking a little off-center thing would be cool, but my designer girlfriend says no, it's going to look better all being even. So that's what we did, and yeah, so and now we're taping them to the sides so that the epoxy doesn't move each of these square wood pieces when we pour it in. So little high five there, and now we're doing the same thing with the monitor stand. We're taping the edges so the epoxy doesn't seep out, so we can minimize the spillage. And my beautiful back, that was a great shot. So now we're filling in the table with these glow-in-the-dark pebbles. I decided to go green and yellow inside the squares, and then mainly blue on the outside with green and yellow, of course, sprinkled in. And what was actually pretty cool, you can't really see it here, but with the tape, some of the pebbles underneath the tape were able to stand up, so that gave the table a little bit of depth, which ended up being really cool. So then, of course, put the extra pebbles in the computer stand, and now it is time for the epoxy. Now, epoxy comes in part A, part B. Simply just have to empty them out, mix them together. So squeeze, pour, squeezy, pour, and then mix it up a little bit, and then pour this one too. Squeeze, and I'm a professional mixer, so don't be embarrassed if you can't go this quickly. I've been doing it for 20 years now, so woo! And yeah, so now it's time to pour. She gets the legs ready. Now, this is probably not the best way to put legs on an epoxy table, but it worked out really well for us. So you could do something like this if you're on a budget. Now there's my beautiful back again. And of course, pour the rest of the epoxy into the monitor. And at this point, we realize we have some extra left, so maybe we'll do something else. We don't really know yet. Love that part. Just fix that one leg. So yeah, now we're just wondering what to do. We have some more of these glowy pebbles left, so we ended up putting them on top. And at this point, the epoxy is kind of dry. So what happened here is really cool. It kind of makes a depth layer. Like there's all the pebbles on the bottom, which would be the top of the table, and then there's more pebbles below them, which is below on the top of the table now. And we realized that it's spilling a little bit outside the edges, so as you can see, bottom left is kind of spilling, but it'll be fine. So yeah, with that extra epoxy, we ran upstairs, got a bunch of random things, and we were gonna fill these glass bottles. So I got, metal balls, paper clips, a Joker playing card, bunch of random things, some more of the glowing pebbles, and we didn't realize it, but at this point the epoxy was really hardening up really quickly, so we were on a time crunch. We did not know this, but luckily I poured mine first, so you can see I'm really mixing it up, and it's kind of chunky now, but I'm thinking we can get it done. And so I pour mine in, I get a good amount, and then I'm layering it a little bit, so pour a little bit, and then put some more things in, pour a little bit more, and then when my girlfriend tries, you can see it's really chunky right now, so it doesn't work out too well for her. Wish we would have done that earlier, but it's alright. So that's really all, and let's see how these all turned out. This is what the bottle turned out like. So we got the Joker card, a couple metal balls, a bunch of the glow-in-the-dark pebbles, and just a bunch of random things. Like this is something I 3D printed a while back. Got a lock, screw in there, more balls. There's a 3D printed butterfly, just a bunch of random stuff. Paper clip. Didn't really work out too well, but it's pretty cool. And then I filled it with some water, and of course a ping pong ball on top. So it does glow in the dark at night, but it doesn't work out as well as I thought it would. Yes, here it's glowing in the dark, and it's decent, There's the monitor stand. Really excited with how that turned out. It turned out really nice, and it glows incredibly in the dark. And then, of course, what you've all been waiting for, the Geometric Epoxy River Table. It looks incredible. I love it. And look at this. Glows in the dark. So cool. Simply incredible. Try this, guys. It's so much fun. That's it. Remember to like and subscribe. Keep on coming back to the channel, guys. Thank you. Have a great day.